Hey, shalom to my brothers and my sisters in the truth. Shalom, shalom. Hope y'all are doing well. So I haven't really posted like a video of me speaking. I've had some time to kind of reflect, learn, be obedient to listening to the Most High. We live in a generation where a lot of people like to talk a lot, and it's good. It's good to talk if you're talking with substance, if you're talking the truth, if you're breaking down the word. But what I've learned here recent, man, it's also important to listen. It's just as important to listen as it is to speak. Because sometimes I feel like a lot of people get caught up in routines, Monday through Friday kind of mindset, or 9 to 5 kind of mindset, or just there's a lot of traditions. There's a lot of things that people practice as humans that it gets repetitive. You know what I mean? And so I think it's just as important to listen to the Spirit. In Revelation, it emphasizes that a couple of times, but it says, he who has an ear, or her that has an ear, let them hear what the Spirit's got to say. In other words, listen. And listen with discernment, because there's so much information. There's so many people with their opinions and perspectives. There's a lot to have to decipher, and there's a lot to have to weed through and pick apart and really figure out if it's worth giving your energy and devotion to listening. But even with listening, we can't just listen all the time either. There's a time to speak. In Ecclesiastes chapter 3, it breaks it down. But there's a time to speak, there's a time to listen, there's a time to reap, there's a time to sow, there's a time for war, there's a time for peace. And I'm paraphrasing it because it's kind of thorough with saying that there's a time for everything, basically. But all in all, man, we got to remember that this walk, this life, and everything that we do it's about balance. You know what I mean? You gotta be able to find balance in the things that you do, the way you carry yourself, and the way we learn and all that. So I'm just sharing kind of what I've been learning here recently. But I really didn't want to make a long video, but like I said, it's been a minute since I kind of posted something a little bit more thorough. I know I've posted a couple songs recently. That song that I posted, Let's Ride, that's off an album I released back in September. And to be honest, I released that album when I was still kind of somewhat new in the truth. I've always known the scriptures, and I've been in and out of Christian churches all my early 20s and stuff. But it's really ever since the pandemic popped off back in 2020, man, I've really started growing in the truth and just seeking it. Not just not expecting me to learn on my own, but devoting my time to seek it. You got to really put in the work to seek the truth. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people know the word, a lot of people know the scriptures, but in order to know the truth, that's what it's all about, man. That's the whole point of Christ coming to this earth, who the world calls Christ, who I refer to as Hamashiach, who many people refer to as, there's many different, I guess you could say, names or descriptions, or there's many ways to describe the Son of Man. But ultimately, man, the one true King of the Jews, the Messiah, the Son of the Most High God of Israel, he was the truth that came to this earth. You know what I mean? He was the truth. He brought the word of the Most High God to earth in flesh form. But that's the one that we seek, and that's the one that we serve. You know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. It's about the truth. It's not just about knowing, oh, well, this was said, so let me reiterate it, and let me regurgitate what this pastor said or what this church said or anything. It's deep, man. It's deep. You gotta seek the truth. But really, the scripture that I wanna read and kind of just give my thoughts on it. It's in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. And this is a beautiful scripture if anybody out there is struggling, whether it be struggling financially, not knowing how you're going to pay the bills, not knowing how you're going to get groceries, not knowing how you're going to pay for gas, or not knowing how you're going to be able to provide for your family, not knowing how you're going to really get through. I feel like that's a lot of people's mindset at this point, man, because a lot of people are dealing with the suffering from and the oppression of this deliberate inflation that this corrupt government has been allowing the people to have to endure on their own. Really, we're as true believers, man. On a spiritual level, every day we're being thrown out to the wolves. We're the sheep. You know what I mean? We hear the voice of the good shepherd, but you got to remember, man. In a physical aspect, man, even so, we're being thrown out to the wolves, man. You know what I mean? And so in 2 Corinthians verse 12, or sorry, 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. It says, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. You know what I mean? And so just meditating on that scripture, man, it's, talking about his grace, man. It's sufficient. It's enough for us. You know what I mean? And the Lord's power is made perfect in all of our weaknesses. Anything that we struggle with, anything that we just... we can't really see the light of the next moment. His grace it's enough, man. And his grace is waking us up every day and allowing us to have health. Even though some people struggle with their health or whatever, but ultimately, man, we got to remember that we always have a lot to be thankful for, man. And so it's not just about the physical things, man. Like I just said, getting gas or getting groceries or getting things to be able to sustain. It's all temporary, man. We got to be seeking after the things that are eternal, and the things that are eternal come from above, and everything good comes from above. The truth comes from above. You know what I mean? It's not to be found down here in the midst of all these wolves. We got to be seeking the things that are above, because the things that are above are the things unseen, and the things unseen are what is to come, and what is to come is forever. And so don't get caught up in this world and the traditions and the things that are quickly fading away, and the folly and the deception, man. It's everywhere. If you want to find it, it's not hard to find. But just remember that the grace of the Most High God of Israel, through the power of his son Hamashiach, the Lion from the tribe of Judah, it's enough for us, man. It's enough. And his power is always made perfect in our weakness, man. So I'm starting to sweat, man. It's pretty humid here in Georgia today. I would run the air, but I didn't want noise to interrupt this video. But anyway, man, I hope y'all are doing well, man. I'm gonna, in due time, I'll come with some more videos and some more thorough videos. But for now, man, just keep that level head, man, and just know that the Most High has always provided for his people, man. He provided for Moses and the Israelites and delivered them to the promised land. They were in the wilderness for 40 years, man. So in their weakness, his power is made perfect. And Christ fasting for 40 days, in the wilderness, and not knowing, but deliberately weakening his fleshly body in order to seek the strength from the Father in the wilderness. He was able to resist the devil, man, through the power of the word. And that's why the power of the word is such a powerful thing, man. Man cannot live off of bread alone, but only by every word that comes from the mouth of the Most High God of Israel. And the devil fled from him, And so we got to remember the word, man. We got to put it on our hearts and carry it with us every single place that we go and every person that we talk to, man. Do not be ashamed. Romans 1:16. For I am unashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach, Christ, the Son of the Most High God of Israel. For it is the power of the Most High God to save. You know? And so with all this, man, I pray that y'all stay uplifted in the spirit, man. Continue to do what is right. It's not easy. But it's worth it. So with this, man, all praise to the Most High God of Israel, through the power of Hamashiach, the King of Kings, the Lion from the tribe of Judah, who is and who was and who is to come. Forgive me. The Almighty, the resurrection of life, and the Good Shepherd, man. To him, to the one that holds the keys to death and Hades, man, be the power, the glory, forever and ever, man. Y'all stay up, man. Have a good week.